Hey, what's up, productivity junkies? Darin Persinger here, sitting at the desk because I want to do a little exercise with you guys. I want to walk you through the Productivity Junkies economic formula. And this formula is modified from, one second, don't go anywhere. Still in the, okay, here we go. All right, it's modified from Gary Keller's Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, the MREA. It's modified from that, his economic model, and I've taken it, put my own little spin on it, simplified it, because you know I love being simplified with things, and modified it a little bit. So I want to share that with you, and then how that ties into my business development formula, the 1-2-1. So I've just kind of switched it up a little bit so it works with the business development formula. So take a look at this example for the economic formula. You can also download, I have my worksheet here down below. Go ahead, download this, print it off, and do your own economic formula so you know what numbers you have to hit. Check this out for the scenario that I'm going to do. Okay, so let's dive into this economic formula. I'll do a scenario here, and then you can look to see how you can do this for your own economic formula. So what we're going to do in this scenario, first thing I want to know is what kind of income do you want to earn, your net income. For this scenario, we're going to do $150,000 in 1 year is what this agent would like to earn in this scenario. Okay, so the next thing is expenses and costs of sales. So how much are you paying for your phone, for your marketing, office space, to your broker, your commission splits, that type of thing. So over on the side, let's quick do an analysis on that for this example. Let's say you're paying $25,000 a year into your broker, cap and commissions. You're spending, let's throw me in there, $7,000 a year for coaching. That's about what it costs to work with me on a partnership program. Let's say you're spending $3,000 a year in marketing expenses, and then to be safe, we'll throw in, another $15,000 or so to cover office expenses, a virtual assistant, phone, those types of uses. So a little over $1,000 a month to cover those kind of costs, right? So that gives us a grand total of $50,000, right? We got 25 and 25. So 50,000 for our cost of sales and expenses. We add those two numbers together, all right, to give us total GCI of $200,000 of GCI. Then what you need to do is take a look at your average commission per side. This will be different, so you'll need to add your own in here, but for this scenario, we're going to do 2.7% because maybe you're doing some short sales, some REOs, whatever it is, and that commission gets pushed to that 2.7 number. So from there, you're going to divide 200,000 by 0.027, and that will give us the total volume. So how much property do we need to sell, dollars worth? And this would be 7,407,407. All right, so almost $7.5 million in volume. So depending upon your marketplace, you could be in a very expensive area or a more affordable area, and this will be dependent upon the number of transactions that you need to have. So you need to figure out what your average sales price is, right? I mean, if you're like in certain parts of Southern California or here in the east side of Seattle, you could be selling $2 million homes, and this 7.5 million will be easy to hit. So on this scenario, though, I'm going to say let's do an average sales price of $300,000. All right, I think we can all relate to selling that kind of price of home. So your average sales price, you're going to take your volume, divide by your average sales price, and that will give you your total number that you need to sell. And this is 24.69. All right, I'm just going to scratch that out and say 25 to make this simple, round it up. Nothing wrong with rounding up. Fail safe. So the next part is your conversions. All right, so what's your conversion ratio on the total signed agreements? Because the next thing that I know is that you want to have signed agreements. This is an indicator of success. So whether it's a listing agreement or a buyer controlled side agreement, how many of these do you need to have? If you know your conversion ratio, plug that in. But I'm saying to be safe, double that amount. So what you're going to have is you want to end up throughout the year having 50 total signed agreements. Then from there, double that amount for the number of appointments. So you're going to have a certain number of appointments. You'll walk away with half of those as a signed agreement, and those half of those signed agreements will actually turn into closings for you. So your total new appointments that you need to have in this next year in order for you to net your $150,000 is going to be 100 new appointments. All right, following me there? So then the next thing that you want to do is how many number of work weeks are there? Well, it's a tough market right now, so we're going to get our hustle on. So let's say in this scenario that this agent's going to work 50 weeks next year. They are going to take off 1 week to hang out with the family and another week to go get their learn on and stay educated at some conference somewhere. So they're going to work 50 work weeks. So then you take your 100 divided by your 50, and your total new appointments per week that you must have is 2. So this number now is in direct correlation to that number, the 150,000. If you want to make $150,000 next year, control your expenses and go have 2 new appointments per week. I'll show you how that relates to the business development formula for productivity junkies, the 1-2-1. We'll talk about that soon. But for now, this is the number that matters in order to get that. Look at doing your own economic formula and see how your numbers work out and what you need to do.